We should be rumbling, as they say.
We should be rumbling.
Oh, there we go. How's it? What's this? Checking all the angles with old papes. 11. Yeah. Round number 3 recap already. Jeez,
Mark. What's it? Best newest podcast of all time?
Probably a stretch.
Probably a stretch. We'll get there. But yeah, I think last week it's a bit different this week now without having a MVP, or not an MVP, a VIP guest with us. Obviously, and we'll call it what it is. We've got excuse my French, fucking useless human being that was supposed to be on the show tonight and bring us some insightful looks at the Ireland South Africa game. But as we said earlier, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And Jazz, we're talking about you, yeah. So when you do watch this, I hope you can reflect and join us in future.
That's pretty harsh, but it is what it is, I guess.
A bit of a different start to our show.
That was quite lovely, actually. Very well done. Very well done.
We cut throat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be, and I think it will probably be a bit of a cutthroat chat about SA versus Ireland as well.
Correct.
Some would say. Yeah, 13-8. It was a different game.
Points left out there to be taken.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you probably feel the same. I've been trying to dissect since Saturday exactly what our game plan was there. And I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. When you know your kickers are under pressure, don't give them the kicks. Go to the corner, apply the pressure. We did it against New Zealand. It worked. Shied away from it a bit.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. But again, Ireland played well. They put us on a lot of pressure as well. But it was a good old test match. It was nail biting. It was nail biting till the last movement. I mean, anything could happen. All 3 results were on those last few seconds.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it was an exciting game. But the end result not the most fun. But you take it on the chin, and you soldier on.
Yeah, here's a conspiracy for you. So as we did in 2019, and with a bit of hindsight thrown in, it's clear Rassie plays a bit of 4D chess. He looks at the world a little bit differently to how we do. So here are my thoughts, right? And it's probably, this is a bit fictitious, but it's also it's something
this
to
should
digest.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
This should be right? Very interesting.
Now, if you look at World Rugby at the moment, other than Ireland and a fully fit France, I really don't think there's a team that can compete with us at the moment. I think there's a clear gap between the top 3 and the remaining teams in World Rugby. And you're shaking your head, but you can listen. This is up for debate. But
I'm listening. I can purely shake my head though. But yes.
So would we be incorrect in assuming that Rassie didn't want to play his entire hand against Ireland, and it was a la 2019? We've got a plan for the final, and this is how we're going to win that game. But this game, we're going to take you to a dark place but we're not going to show you everything because I don't think a South African side is kicking from 55 meters with no goal kicker, absolutely dominating the set piece, winning 4 out of 4 of the opposition ball. I don't think a South African side is kicking from 55 meters in a World Cup final. I don't. I think
in a World Cup final,
assuming we play Ireland. So
I
that
think
is,
if we're playing in a final, sorry, I'm butting in, but
that's fine.
I think if we're playing in a final from 55 meters, if you have probably even Willemse, I would give a go. If you don't have Pollard starting, out from 55, I'd have a go just to scare the opposition because whoever's taking the kick has the distance. So just tell them, like, watch out where you're giving away penalties on the field. Put them under some pressure.
Yeah, look, I don't think you're wrong in that line of thought there. I just think that the way Rassie has coached the Boks over the last it's about 6 years now, that there's more to it than meets the eye. And I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes here. He knows that there's a way we could have potentially won on Saturday. But some of the decisions were very schoolboy. Like, we absolutely dominated them on their line out and our line out for the first 20 minutes. Like, it was
heavily.
We were streaks ahead, and credit, they're the world #1 side for a reason, so they've got to have a plan B. But my thing is, we stopped competing completely. So we went from absolutely, and then it was a case of, why are we doing that? Especially when you've got an entire forward back on the bench. You can't tell me that your front rows are going to get tired of lifting. So there was a few things, and just my last point on this. You're kicking from 55 meters when you're absolutely dominating the set piece. Kicking from 55 meters, there's a chance you can't get it. We don't have a recognized goal kicker. You take that shot, the odds aren't really in your favor at this stage. You're just taking your foot off the pressure. Whereas Manie's been putting it in the 22, close to the 5 all the time. Give him the ball, put it in the 22 and just squeeze. That's what we've been doing. And
no, I agree with that.
It felt a bit off, and it felt like we went a little bit off the playbook, in that game. But credit to Ireland, I think at their set pieces, their at ruck time, Ireland are exceptional. It
was brilliant to watch. It was brilliant to watch.
So that's my conspiracy there. 4D chess long game.
I've also thought about theories like that. Look, I think credit where credit is due. They were good in the scrums. They were very good in the scrums.
Brilliant.
Ireland. And in the lineouts, look, we were definitely competing very well in the first 20 minutes. I don't know. I haven't seen any or heard anything about it, but I wonder if Ireland didn't change their calls and their things halfway through the game on the lineouts. That's something to consider as well for the improvements in the lineouts. I know we stopped competing, but they could have been nullifying that in a manner like that.
Started speaking Irish.
No, it's just like I think credit where credit is due. It was a good definitely a very good win. Famous Irish victory, mate.
A good vigil. No, I don't think that's the right word. Vigil. No, it's
Look,
not good.
It could be the curtain raiser to what could happen in a final. Could potentially happen in the final. So, I mean, the other side of the draw now becomes very interesting and spicy to watch.
Do you know the other quarters? Because I heard them today.
So, yes, the other potential quarters. Yes, I do. currently it's showing Wales and
Argentina.
Argentina and England and Fiji.
Ooh, that's good rugby. Well matched, I think.
So if we end on that side, we will play the winner of England and Fiji.
Really?
If we can get through to a semi-final, yeah.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Where's the other side of the draw? You have Wales and Argentina. If that's going to be the game, that will be a firecracker. Oh, that would be a firecracker.
Honestly, it's a pity that the sides of the quarterfinals are so stacked, but in terms of matching sides, like for like, you're getting four quarterfinals where you cannot call a winner in any of them. I can't sit here and say there's a guaranteed winner in all four of those games. There's going to be an upset.
There will be one upset at least.
Let's quickly, just for shits and gigs, okay? So it's England versus Fiji, and then Wales versus Arg, and then SA versus France, and then Ireland versus New Zealand.
Oh my, those are so tasty.
Okay, what are your predictions there? I'm gonna go.
Oh,
England versus Fiji, first game.
Okay, so quarterfinal number 1.
England versus Fiji. I'm just putting them in my book.
So I think quarterfinal number 1 is Argentina Wales.
Okay, let's go with that.
Quarterfinal number 2, I think they played on the same day, so the first one will be that one. Second one will be Ireland versus New Zealand.
Yeah.
Quarterfinal 3 is England versus Fiji.
Yeah.
And quarterfinal 4 is France SA.
Okay, so what's your picks now? Do you want to go first on this?
It doesn't matter, bro. I don't mind to go first on these.
Okay, so give me your results. I'm just gonna note them here, and then we can recap after the quarters. But just because we've got
if this is what happens, though, if this is what happens, very a lot of permutations taken into account here.
Love a good old perm.
All right, so first one, Wales, Argentina. They just know how to play in World Cups. I would be backing Wales for a very ugly win.
Yeah, like 3 points, 3, 4, 5 points.
Yeah, I think Anscombe comes on in like the second half somewhere and slots a crucial penalty to take it to a 3-pointer or something like that. And they just hold on with dogged defense, bro. I can see that happening. I can very much see that happening.
I think Wales and Argentina, whichever team, those are the two teams that I wouldn't want to play in the semis, because I think those two teams get stronger the deeper they go. If you're facing a Wales or an Arg in the final, those guys are playing with passion. Like, their passion is going to give them +10.
Yeah, it might also put their penalties +2 for passion.
But you need to have a kicker.
10 minutes. So... yeah. So
okay.
You also backing Wales there?
I just think Wales have done it before, and I personally, Argentina have just blown too hot and cold in a World Cup, so I'm going to go Wales as well.
Okay. Second one, Ireland versus New Zealand.
Oof. I think after Saturday, I'm going to say Ireland with a bit of confidence there. They were really good.
I am going for the full Monty here. I think New Zealand are pipping them in the quarterfinal.
That is a big statement. That is a big statement.
I think wait to see the one big. There's going to be a big New Zealand performance in this World Cup, and I feel it's going to be in the quarters.
I just don't think they've got the squad to put off a big performance. That's just my opinion.
I think they have the game breakers to do it. I'll be honest. They have done it for
Two or three tries out of nowhere.
They have done it for so many years where things are looking. You can just go back to last year when they were written off after 2 losses at the start of the year, and then they pretty much smashed everyone from there on.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same squad. There isn't a big difference. That's the thing. It's for them, it's a big confidence thing. If they're going into the quarterfinals and they get the right motivation, I think they have one big performance in them. It's a big shot, but I just feel could the quarterfinal curse continue?
Yeah, no, that's true. Ireland are under the quarterfinal for Ireland is essentially their final. I think Ireland.
It's a lot. It's a lot like watching South Africa in any major cricket tournament.
Yeah,
We
they
love a
Ireland are
joke. Oh my
team,
God. Because they have had many an opportunity to go to a semi-final where everything looks to be lining up and then somehow they just don't get there. And like I said, I think somehow this time will be a banger New Zealand performance because I just feel by that time in the quarterfinals, all of the injured players I think are back.
But
And I
they won't
think
have had
what they
game
have
time.
what they have been missing sorely is Geordie Barrett, I think,
Okay,
playing
well,
properly at inside.
listen. I mean, I'd much rather play New Zealand in the final than South Africa, but I think than Ireland, but yeah, I just think that New Zealand doesn't have the squad depth. Okay, and then England, Fiji. What are we saying here? I think Fiji. I honestly think Fiji. I think Fiji got the win over England the other day. England are playing better rugby, but I just think that Fiji have tightened up enough and they've got enough firepower to get over the line. But I don't see them going further than the semis.
You see
That's
where I said I was seeing upsets.
yeah.
One upset, the New Zealand one is my big upset. I feel this could be the year for Fiji, but it's going to depend on one thing. I think that game is who's starting at fly half for England.
I agree. 100%. I agree with that.
I feel if you're playing George Ford, the tactical game that he can play will put Fiji under a lot of pressure, turning
Yeah.
those big forwards and everything.
Yeah.
And England haven't really put a foot wrong so far this World Cup. They've looked a lot better than in the warm-up games. A lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So you're gonna go for England there? Because I'm gonna go Fiji.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going for England to put one over the Fijians. I think also losing for the first time against them, I think that hurt. I really think that hurt, and I think they will go to try and prove something as well.
Yeah. I mean, England's my adopted country now, and I want to see them go far. But I just think the Fijians, to me, they can still go tribal, and we haven't seen them go there yet. And I think they can, like, they can summon their ancestors and get over the line. They'll do a ritual before the game.
Beautiful. That is fantastic. I mean, yeah, okay.
Okay, and then
So
number 4.
the big one, Paul.
Is it big anymore? Because John de Villiers and Hanyani, our colleagues in the pundit world, they were saying that cheek injury is a big one to come back from in 3 weeks. I think they'll risk him irrespective. But I mean, if he's on the park, you can best believe first run at DuPont, it's an elbow, a stiff arm in that direction. No question asked.
No, I don't think we're dumb enough to fall for that trick. Our Oaks, we'll find him in a ruck, in a clean out, into something. Do it in a legal way. If you're doing a stiff arm handoff, you're in trouble nowadays. Can't hand off in the face anymore.
Well, I look, whether or not we play him, if he wears a mask, it's a target. He's putting a target not on his back.
Oh
on
no,
his face.
100%. 100%. But I still think, I know we have discussed this, France without Dupont is a different team. It's still a very good team.
Yeah.
Still a very good team. You're playing in your World Cup in a quarterfinal. Last time they were playing in a quarterfinal at their home World Cup, they were up against New Zealand and they pulled off quite an upset there. So that is such a big game.
I think we've got that game. I personally think
I think there we play one. We'll have to play one of our best games we have played in this 4-year cycle. Undoubtedly, it'll have to be a performance of that caliber.
If we play as good as we played this last Saturday, we'll beat France. And I think we've got more in our tank than this last Saturday. But I think at this stage, that's a France without a Dupont on the field for 80 minutes. If he's on the field for 80 minutes, we have to play better than Saturday.
Oh, that's a quite an interesting shot. I think that's pretty fair in a lot of senses. But yeah, I mean, that is just going to be an absolute humdinger of a game.
Okay, so prediction there. I'm going to go SA.
No,
I've got to.
No, Boks by 10.
Okay, so we've got them here. For those 10 to 15 people that tune in, if you want to drop a comment and let us know your predictions for the quarterfinals, it'll be interesting to see.
Proposed the potential quarterfinals.
Yeah, permutations apply.
Good. Yeah, a lot of permutations. Could we even see a Scotland in there? Could we see a Samoa in there? We could. It could happen.
Potentially.
Potentially it is on.
Okay, so we've discussed that.
Even in Japan, we could even see a Japan there.
I don't want them in there. I don't think Japan is at that level of rugby anymore. They can.
No, I also don't think they are.
They can prep for the next World Cup. Yeah, I don't think they.
I feel they have. Yeah, I feel they haven't played enough games in this cycle to get everyone battle-hardened and build the depth that they would have wanted to be honest.
Yeah, speaking of that, and I wonder if it's a knock-on effect. The Sunwolves, when the Super Rugby was the Sunwolves and SA were in the Super Rugby, as I sent you that link, I don't know if you watched it, but the New Zealand, I think it's the forwards coach at New Zealand, for New Zealand, he even admitted now Super Rugby without South Africa is a weaker competition.
Yeah, James Ryan, yeah. And I see what Australia want. It sounds like most people in Australia, what they want is for the Australian teams in the Super Rugby Pacifica to be taken to 3 teams only to make bigger competition within those squads.
I agree.
And then, I mean, if you do that, maybe bring back the Sunwolves and, bring in maybe another Pacific team, maybe a Samoan team or something. Or
yeah.
What are the ones they've got? The Fiji? I think they do have a Samoan one. Or they're both Fiji. I can't. Fiji
well, being in England, I don't catch any of that rugby.
Something like that. Yeah, look, I haven't followed it this year. I'll be very honest. I didn't watch any of that. But yeah, I mean, there should be more competitions for these teams to play in. Just try and build a little bit of continuity.
Yeah. They've got to get it. They've got to get something right. Okay, so you mentioned, are we done talking about Ireland versus South Africa? Because I think there's a little bit more we could unpack there potentially.
Yeah, we could definitely climb in more there. We could definitely climb in more there. I haven't had my rant yet, I think. Maybe a little
Okay.
bit of it. I don't know.
Well, if you want to go on your rant, that's fine. Do that, and then it'll probably spur me onto something. But yeah, tell it like it is.
Yeah, but it's like we said at the start there, like, why are you only backing your thing? Are you holding things back? I just don't know if, look, they probably did hold a few things back. And I understand why, because there's the potential of facing these guys in a final again. But also, I think building that momentum. Like last time, it was the first game of the World Cup, and you built the momentum from there. I just don't know if doing it halfway through and having the potential to lose the game, are you breaking some of your momentum, or are you learning the hard lessons? I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll only time will tell at the end. But yeah, I think we had the opportunity to give a knockout blow to the number one side in the world and
yeah.
just show them, listen, we we mean business here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Did do do you
I
think?
just I feel we made a few risky calls on our substitutes, replacing guys when I don't think it was necessary. Um, I think we saw the frailties of the hooker position. I see, for the upcoming game, we testing out that position again.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting to see there. But we need to find a solution. It's pretty simple. We need to find us a solution there and know what we're doing, before the knockouts. I think it's vitally important.
yeah,
Um, yeah, you just want to see them return to um the winners column. They have
yeah.
to win to qualify. So yeah, it's going to be a big game coming up. But uh,
Do you
yeah,
think we got? Do you think we got enough out of the 7-1 split? I personally
no,
don't think that the 7-1 split, and this isn't this. It worked the magic against New Zealand, but I think kudos to Ireland for fronting up for 80 minutes. I think their forwards
yeah,
were absolutely immense. But I also
they
think the
were
7-1
immense. Yeah,
split highlighted the fact that at international rugby, these forwards are so conditioned that the the subtle impact you get from bringing on fresh legs versus a guy who's been in the thick of things for 60 minutes and he's part of the number one test team in the world, it's not much. I mean,
you know,
a 6-2 split with Pollard in the mix, I think is where we get the balance.
yeah. Look, my big thing there was we didn't have a Dwayne Vermeulen on the bench. I
Then
really wanted to see a
we
Dwayne.
needed him. We needed him.
We understand why they did what they did, but Dwayne, I think, would have been a very, because it just looked like we were rushing things at a stage a bit. It just didn't look
Well, with
as,
Sia off and with Eamon off, that's our leadership core essentially. And then
yeah.
who Bongi was taking over as captain. And don't get me wrong, I think
And then
Bongi's
he
got
went,
leadership.
and then he also went off, and then he
Exactly.
also went off,
And
and
that's
then it was
why
Dion. Yeah,
I think that's why the lights become such a big thing is because essentially Rassi starts captaining from the stands. But that's when you need someone
yeah,
to kind of get the guys around him. He's a focal point, and you listen to him and you feed through his energy. But if you got someone
yeah,
calling the shots from the stands, that's not where you need your captain. You need your captain in the thick of things. So I think we were a bit rudderless for that last 15, 20 minutes there.
yeah. No, that was one thing that I didn't really understand. Um, just yeah, they just had to leave someone on with a bit more experience for a bit longer. It does show that you do need the experienced heads in the pressure cooker situations, just to calm things down on the field, get the
To say
guys
the
all
right
settled.
things.
Yeah, 100%. Set the tone. Just set the tone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've said my point there. It was about the 7-1 split and about how at the top the very top level of rugby, you don't really get that edge with these guys that are so well conditioned. The absolute kudos to the Tide Five of Ireland. They were incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and their
Incredible.
reserves that came on also fronted
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
wonderfully. No, it was a very good performance. I mean, you can't take that away from them. It was really good. Um, yeah, is there any more grievances that we
No,
need to touch on?
I think we tie a bow in that, and we wish both teams well into the tournament. And I think if you ask every single rugby fan around the world, other than their own team, what would you like the final of the Rugby World Cup to be? They'll be dumb to not say Ireland, South Africa. I told one of my colleagues at work that if Ireland, South Africa are the Rugby World Cup final, I will get so little work done that week. I'll be watching talk show after talk show after talk show, highlight reels. It'll be crazy.
Yeah, it would definitely be a massive distraction. That is not a lie, especially when you also have a Puigicos competition on that day, which is going to be brilliant.
That is going to
Oh,
be
what
epic.
an absolute joy. If everything happens the way we
Yeah.
want it to, it
If
will
the
be
stars
a magical
align,
day. If the
yeah.
stars align, yeah, 100%.
And I hope,
Yeah.
it has been done before. Teams are good enough to go back to back and win the World Cup. And I mean, call me optimistic or call me blindly, like call me like a blind supporter, but I truly believe South Africa is in as good a position as any other team in history to defend it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. We have the ingredients. Now we just have to bake the cake.
Yeah, agreed.
Uh,
Okay.
I, I don't know if that was
So
a good analogy or not, but I think it was.
yeah, no, I'll give you credit there, Mr. Bakerman. Okay. So we actually went off on a bit of a tangent there. So
But
my next point,
it was a bit of a tangent.
my next point that I want to raise is
Yeah.
Wales, Australia. Did you watch the game? I think you said you did.
Oh, wow. I said at the start of the tournament that Australia was my dark horse team,
I
and
know, I told you.
they are t they are taking a dark horse and they are getting back on the Qantas, mate. They're going
Yeah,
all the way back down under. That was a dreadful performance, to be honest. They took a gamble
horrendous.
with their squad. I understand they wanted to get like some experience and just taste it. And I think what Eddie has done is masterful in a way because these oaks will remember if they still part of the mix in 27, they will remember this feeling. They will never want to have this feeling ever again. They will be
But
prepared.
but okay, in the show I watched that spoke about this, my counters to that are what level of rugby are they playing to get the preparation for 2027? What are the camps that Australia are going to hold between now and 2027 going to do to these players to make them better? Um, uh, is Eddie Jones going to be the coach in 2027? There's so many things that you've got to take into account. What will be the state of Australian rugby at that stage? Because apparently there's a bit of turmoil in the rugby union side of Australia. So
Mm.
yes, you can risk it and you can say this is my long-term plan, but the 50 to 100 people that are directly involved with those decisions know, and the rest of Australia wants a head on a stick. So it is a tricky one there, and I don't know. I think you've got to treat each World Cup as we go in there to win, in my opinion.
No, for sure. I agree with that. He was given 6 months. He was given 6 months to try and put a team together to build and to go to this World Cup. I think he missed the trick with a few of the experienced guys. 100%, I do agree with that.
Terrible call.
But I feel he is a good coach to have there to try and take it from the grassroots level back to it. I mean, he took over England after England just went out of their home World Cup in the first, also in the group stages, and he got them to a World Cup final in 4 years' time. So yeah, you can definitely, if there's someone that can do it, I think he is the oak that can do it.
But he's done it all. So, like, does he still have the hunger to do it? Look, that's what I'm saying. You're putting a lot of
I
eggs in
feel,
that
I feel,
basket.
I feel this Australian team is probably his biggest challenge yet.
And this could
So
be his swan song.
this could be his swan song. This could be his
Yeah.
swan song. I mean, it's your home country. I mean, it's a privilege and an honor to be the coach of your bloody home country. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be the head coach of your home country?
How old is old Eddie Jones? Because it could, I mean, if he said to him, look, if he said to them, look, I will, so he's 63 now, he's 67 by 2027. Okay, you know what? If he's gone into the offices of Australian rugby and he said, look, I'm retiring in 4 years' time. This is what I'm doing. I'm willing to give you everything for the next 4 years. Then maybe.
Look, for the good of the Southern Hemisphere rugby, I hope it is the case. I want to see a good Australia, bro. I like
Me
having
too.
competitive games. I love competitive games. It's what you want.
I like
It
hating
keeps it.
Australia.
There's nothing like giving them grief, bro. There's nothing
Yeah.
like it. It's a rivalry as old as time. I think we're a lot alike, us and the Australians. We're a lot
Yeah.
alike.
Agreed.
Um,
Australians like a mullet. I've got a bit of a mullet. You've had it, or might still have a mullet going on there. So yeah, we look like.
starting to come back. Starting to come back slowly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, kudos to Wales. Wales fronted up, losing bigger early. Hanscom came on, which I learned he was actually from New Zealand. So came
Yeah.
on, did the business, and yeah, got them over the line. Wales played really well. I was impressed.
Look, Wales under Warren Gatland is a World Cup team. They know how to play. They have reverted back to their normal state, but they have added to their game. They are looking a lot more threatening on the attack. That first phase try that they did off the scrum or the line out, I couldn't remember what it was. I think it was a line out where Jack Morgan cut in there and they scored that opening try. Oh, that was a beauty.
Very stylish.
Oh, those set moves, when they come off, they are brilliant to watch. Absolutely brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
I mean, Wales played really well. I mean, it was a record win for them against Australia. So
46. That is an absolute hammering.
yeah, that is a pounding and a half.
Yeah.
You're not
Okay.
you're not feeling like after that.
No. So is Australia, have they played all their games now? No, they were one more.
They still have to play Portugal. It'll be a good win for them.
That is,
I think that's
they
the
just,
worst possible game for them to have left.
they literally just sitting around. All they're spectators at this point. That's all they are. They're spectators. They might as well go sightsee. Like Aussies, do you just filling the stands, my boys?
Look, Portugal and Georgia drew, so going on that statistic, you would say they would have Portugal's number because they beat Georgia at least. So, but yeah, we'll wait and see. But I mean, it's just been a very disappointing campaign for them, to be honest. It's not good.
Georgia got 15
Not good.
points against Oz.
Yeah, they did indeed.
I think if Australia aren't careful,
Surely not, bro. Surely not.
Japan beats South Africa.
That would be.
I'm sticking
Oh,
money on it. I'm sticking money on it. When is it? I'm
that
actually
would
sticking
be.
money on it.
I'm 100% almost sure that is almost a bigger upset than us losing against Japan. No, probably
No,
not. No.
it's not. No. Sunday, 1st of October, I'm sticking money on Portugal to beat Australia. And then
Sure.
they can give them a Harding and some paella.
Yes. Oh, that's. Yeah, I don't see it happening. I'll be honest. I can't. I cannot imagine. Oh, the absolute scenes if that was supposed to happen.
Because what does
Sure.
Eddie Jones do? Does he use this now as an opportunity to blood the absolute youngest players in his squad looking ahead for 2027, or does he go with his best team? Because if he bloods his youngsters, there's a chance that Portugal could take them. And if he goes with their best team and while are we playing this game, Portugal could take them.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what you do. I think you
Yeah,
do a blend. You'll have
you've
to
got to
do
do
a
a
blend of
blend.
some sorts.
You've got to
It
do a
has to
blend.
be a
And
blend.
if I had to put myself in Eddie's shoes, I would say I would only be looking for mentality this week. I literally couldn't give a shit about your skill. I'd just be looking for mentality.
Yeah, I want to see that you have the hunger and the desire for the jersey.
Anyone who's even wearing his slops to training when it should have been trainers or tackies, get off my field. You go sit on your Qantas business class or whatever and get the.
I don't think they're flying back, but I don't think they're flying back business class, mate. They definitely just going to go home, mate, and have a shrimp on the barbie, all right?
In the cheap seats. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
last 2 points
Oh,
then from
geez.
our side. So currently, if I had to put a gun to your head, player of the tournament or player of the tournament up to now.
Jeez, like that's I'll say Bandiaki. Yeah. Yeah, I
He's been
think so. At the moment, yes. I think yes. He has been sensational. I mean, he's been proper value.
Yeah.
He has been proper value.
I don't think we need to go into too much detail then. It's obviously if we both agreeing on that, then it's clear. So yeah, he's been exceptional. And I mean to wreak havoc like he did, yeah, he's a really good player. So I look forward to watching him continue.
Yeah, look, I think it's him. Then I also think George Ford. I think you can also put into that bracket.
I think Damien's also been good.
Yeah. Then also I would definitely say from France's team, the fullback Thomas Ramos.
Yes,
He's
his
been really
kicking's
good.
been so good.
Oh, he's a metronome. He is an absolute metronome. I think he's only missed one kick. And
the Fijian, the outside centre, their captain, he's also been
Naya
very, very good.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. For Wales, Captain Morgan. I mean, Captain Morgan has been insane. He's been a pillar of strength for Wales. Even old George North, he has been so good at
He has been
outside
good.
centre
I've
for them.
enjoyed him at outside centre. It's good to see
It's
that
like
we're
his game
naming
has
these
been completely
midfielders.
revigorated.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's good to see we naming midfielders and outside backs. It's showing that the type of rugby that this World Cup's brought. I think it's going to tighten up in the playoffs though, for sure.
No, it is definitely. No, look, I mean, there's been a lot of good performances across the board. The forwards, there has been some sensational forwards as well. Theo McFarlane for Samoa has been outstanding
Who's the
in the
who's
lock
the
position.
who's the
For
lock for Ireland with the blue scrum cap?
that is Tag Burn. Tag
Yeah,
Burn.
he was good. He
He's
was
been
very
good.
good.
He's been good. I mean, Josh van der Fleer is phenomenal rugby player. He's been good. Johnny Sexton has been very good.
Solid. He's given them a good
He's been
platform. Yeah, but I agree. We can agree there that Banyaki's been probably the
he's been the
standout.
standout. No,
Yeah,
he's definitely been the standout so far.
yeah.
I also think
Um,
DuPont right up to his injury was also phenomenal.
so I'm actually just looking at the stats here. So Banyaki is leading in runs. Johnny Sexton is leading in points. Uh, Thomas Ramos is leading in conversion. Antoine DuPont is leading in offloads. And Captain Morgan is leading in tackles.
Just fronting up. Just fronting up. You know what? He reminds me a lot of a short Sam Warburton.
Do you want to hear a stat quickly? And it's going to be sad because it's going to be over before we know it. But we've played 25 of the 48 games already in this World Cup.
Yeah, but now it's the 40 maths. 23 remaining games are the big ones. The really, really big ones. And there isn't going to be midweek matches. It's going to be Saturdays and Sundays, I think, and or something like that. Or Fridays and Saturdays. I don't know. But it
Yeah.
is going to be immense. The next month is going to be oh, it is going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be emotional. There's
Do
going
you,
to be upsets.
do
Oh,
you want to do you want to hear a funny story? There's not
yes,
a
please.
single South African in the top 5 for any stats in this tournament.
Ah,
Can you believe it? Holy smokes.
okay.
Bandiaki is leading on 53 runs. I wonder what they qualify as a run. Probably what, 10 meters? 5, 10 meters?
No, I think it's every time you have the ball and you run.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
So he's on 53 runs. Holy smokes. Guess what the
Or
next guess what the next one is?
no,
David
no idea.
Nyashvili, and he's on 33.
Oh, it's quite a big gap.
Yeah.
It's quite an enormous gap.
That is huge. That's
But I mean,
cons
what's his run meters then? His run meters must be insane.
Yeah, they don't give you that, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, South Africa, yeah, we're on 102 points. We third behind or fourth behind Ireland, France, and England. So interesting stats. Okay, cool. Yeah, so uh last point for me now, SA versus Tonga. I'm just gonna bring up the team here.
Um, we should take them. We have to take them. There's no other words. We have to take these Oaks. It has to be a good performance. I think it will be. Looking forward to the midfield combination. Um,
How many minutes
5-3
do you
splits
think?
on the bench.
How many minutes do you think Pollard's getting? Do you think? I think Pollard is getting full 80 if he can.
I also think he's getting full 80 if he can, and I think what you'll see happen at some stage is Libbok slotting in at fly half and Pollard moving to inside center. I can very much see them just trying that for a few minutes potentially.
Okay,
Um,
interesting. I hadn't
because I
thought
think
about
what
that.
I think what they'll do then is they will bring on Jesse Krill as well on outside and move Kane Moody to the wing and take Grant Williams off.
Very
I
well
think
explained. I think I can see that happening.
I can see them just testing that just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Just before the knockouts, you know, just see if we can get him on the field for that long, you know.
Yeah, but I think we'll if I believe if you move 112, I think you've got to have Esterhuizen at 13 because I think Esterhuizen's a better ball carrier than Jesse Creel. And if you've got 100 at 12 to give you that solidity at 12 in terms of his carrier, I mean his tackling and stuff like that and his kicking, I think you need to have an explosive runner.
I think that's why they'll bring on Jesse for the defensive side, and then if you have Caden on the wing, you can also help out with the defensive things. I I don't see them shifting Estes into 13. To be honest,
Isn't
I
he?
just
But
don't see
isn't he
that.
a 13?
No, he's a 12. No, he's a 12.
Okay, well then I'm wrong. I always thought he was a 13.
No, no, no. He is a inside center.
Okay,
Indeed, my good sir.
oh, forgive me. I thought you.
But
I
yeah, I mean,
honestly thought he was a 13.
just running through the team, Oxen Che and Vincent Koch are the props. Dion Fourie as the hooker, Eben and Marvin Ori in the locks, and then Sia and Dwayne on the flanks. We haven't seen old Dwayne on the flank in a while,
Yeah,
and old Jasper at 8. I think they've kept Jasper there for the intensity and the ferocity. I think we'll need it against Tonga. They are quite a
agree.
big bunch of lads. Kobus Reinach, you always know he's solid. Pollard at 10, the much anticipated return of Pollard at
And I
10.
think they're also trying out that Quibus Handre partnership there because they're probably more than likely to play together because I think the Boks starts in the bigger games going forward, and it'll be Faf and Lebok, and then Handre and Quibus will probably finish off our
Corvus.
games.
Very,
Yeah,
very, very possible. Very, very possible. Then we've got old Makazole, Mapimps, and Grant Williams on the wings. Grant Williams being a scrum half, starting all his games so far on the wing. So that's why we have 4 scrum halves, I guess.
just raw
Then
pace.
we have Andre the Giant Esterhuizen in inside center and Kanan Moody at outside, and then old Billy LaRue at fullback.
Which is good. I like that seeing old Villy back in the mix.
Yeah, it's a very solid team. I think it's a really good team. It's going to be interesting to see what Dion does at hooker. I think this will be crucial to see between him and Marco van Staden, who is going to solidify that number 16 jumper, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think just Marco's got a bit more size than Dion. So if Marco does the business going forward, we could see Dion even fall away potentially.
Yeah, because I mean, at hooker we want a certain thing. And if Van Staden gives us that and not Dion Free, then you'd rather we have that. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a straight shootout between the two, I feel.
I think they both get 40
Yeah.
minutes this weekend.
I just wanted to say I can easily see them both getting 40 minutes in this one.
Yeah. Uh, then the bench is Marco, Steven Kitsoff, Trevor Nyakane, Franco Mostert, Peter Steph Light. He's definitely playing the Peter Steph Light role in this game.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm glad they're resting Peter Steph. Quacher Smith, Jaden Hendricks, Jesse Creel, and Manie Lebok. Happy.
Look, I hope they give Eben some rest, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I really hope they
agreed.
give the man
40
some
minutes.
time off.
40
Yeah,
minutes.
I wouldn't give him more. I would have liked to see John Klein start, I'll be very honest.
I was very surprised to not see him in the mix.
Yeah, no, as well. I'll be honest. I really thought this was a good game for him to start. Especially on the physicality side, it's going to be a absolutely bruising encounter.
No
That
Archia,
much
eh?
you are guaranteed. No Archia at all, yeah.
I think even though he's very much a bench player for the Boks, it shows that he's got a role. There's definitely a defined role for him in the squad.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. For sure. No,
So
definitely.
yeah. So let's round off this week's chat. I'm happy with the team. Let's go predictions there.
I think I am Springboks by, I'll tell you now. I think it's about 40. No, that sounds too much. What's your prediction? What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go Boks by 45.
I did say, I said us by 30. Pretty conservative. But also, I think it's going to be a very hard game.
It's gonna be a hard game, but I think that last 30 minutes we against minnows, we got probably 30 minutes. We're against bigger teams, we've got 20 minutes.
Oh, Tonga is a very well-drilled machine nowadays as well. They have the
Well,
potential.
how well drilled
So
can they be?
yes,
Because here's the
yes.
matches. Samoa, I mean, Scotland put 45 on them.
Yeah, but Scotland is a very disciplined team as well. And I think they played pretty much their full strength squad there.
Ireland put 59 on them.
Yeah, okay, but well, I just went with 30, okay? I don't know. I just feel
I think you need to change your Subaru.
I can't, I lost my pick. Damn it.
Uh,
No, look, I just feel, no, I just feel it could we be a little bit leaky in our defense? I hope not. Only
no, I
conceded
don't
one
think
try the
so.
whole World Cup so far.
Yeah. But in saying that, as we do every week, I think we've checked all the angles.
Yeah, if we haven't checked them all, we've definitely checked enough.
And we'll be back next
Yeah, I
week to
think
check more.
that is fact. Just a quick one on SA versus Tonga stats. Seeing as last week I didn't have stats for some unclear reason. Only met twice. South Africa winning both times. Once in 95, where we beat them, I think it was 74-10. And then, of course, in 2007, our final pool stage match as well, where we only beat them 30-25. So those are the two encounters we have had against Tonga. So, yeah, we have seen this before. We have seen this before. Then, yeah, referees Luke Pierce and, oh, jeez, here we go again. It was Luke Pierce and I will tell you now, Matthew Carley and Christoph Ridley. They are the ARs. I don't know who the TMO is.
That's good. I'm glad you're more prepared this week. But yeah, looks good. And I think we've now checked all the angles.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, have a good week and enjoy the rugby.
Enjoy the rugby.
Commiserations to Namibia, who couldn't pull off a first World Cup victory in this World Cup. Had a chance against Uruguay, but Uruguay took them 36-26 earlier today. So, yeah.
Commiserations, Namibia. Just go make Windhoek beers and don't worry about anything else.
That's not very nice. But, yeah, have a good one, my bro. Enjoy.
Kudos.